Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do your February 2020 general tarot forecast. So this is for Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, and Cancer Rising signs. All right, Cancer, what is in store for you for February 2020? So this is an extended forecast. It's going to be rather lengthy, but hopefully detailed enough to get a really clear picture on what lay ahead for you. We'll be laying an extra layer or a qualifier layer on top of our traditional Celtic cross card spread. And then we'll get some oracle cards for you following your main reading today. All right, Cancer. Messages for Cancer, February 2020. Well, they didn't turn up upright, so I'm not going to look at them. Messages for Cancer. Cancer Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, folks. As I always do, we'll look at the bottom of the deck cards for general energy surrounding your reading. And as always, I will bring the cards right up to the camera for you to get a really good look at what we're seeing here. Wow, so some pretty major decisions. Look at all the swords. So I would consider major decisions, any conflict being put to rest. There could be a legal decision here, a decision about a contract, perhaps even investment or business orientated. There could be travel or an issue concerning a vehicle, yours or someone else's, and a lot of incoming information, communication. There are some, I would say, not necessarily difficult, but a little bit heavier energies here. Oops, sorry guys. So let's begin with the bottom of the deck. So bottom of the deck energy, we're looking at the Page of Swords here. So again, a couple of Swords energy cards. We have the 9 and again the King in the spread. This is sort of disorienting energy. This is either being the spy, acting as a spy, someone spying on you. In the best case scenario, this is someone just trying to suss out more information through communication, through study, or research, but there is a little bit of a heaviness and a possible, tricky energy behind the page here. But definitely in the best case scenario, like a lot of communication, a lot of information could be forthcoming, and it could be from or involving a younger air sign, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. So right underneath that, we do have the 8 of Swords, and then under that we have, the Hermit. So Virgo person or energy rules the Hermit. So going within, there could be issues having to do with self-nurturing, being confident that you know the path, that you are, that you develop maturity around your own path here. There could be some confusion or information that's missing or needed at this time concerning this venture. There could be a spiritual matter as well. We don't really have any, say, court cards in the Wands. That's a big lie. We do have the Knight of Wands right here. I mean, yeah, it could be a spiritual matter. I do want to reiterate that this is a general reading. For a personal reading for specific questions, you can always contact me and get your own reading. This is general. So with that regard, I'm reading for, possible tens of thousands of people. So just use what messages are helpful here, guys, and then discard the rest. So Hermit underneath the 8. So 8s really are about, foundations. The 8 here in Swords is being unable to free yourself from these negative thoughts, or thinking that you're unable to free yourself from these negative thoughts. You could be worried about what other people think about you, or the next phase of life at this time as well. I'm just going to put these in the background so you can see them a little bit. So representing you and then crossing you, or why you're in this position, or what it could be concerning, is the Seven of Cups. So you're just really unsure about which path to take here concerning your emotional well-being. You could have some options. It could feel like too many. Seven of Cups really speaks to sort of analyze. There's an analyzation component here around what's going to make you the happiest, right? And of course, it's crossed by the card representing you, Cancer. So it really is up to you how you feel. You can't play the blame game here. This is really up to you how you feel, and you're in control of that. I think you might feel, pretty confident about that as well, or happy about that. This is about leading yourself in the right direction. There's a lot of motion. There is a lot of activity, movement here as well. This could indicate travel, or something having to do with travel plans, booking airline tickets, Airbnbs, hotels. This could be, like I said earlier, this could be your vehicle or someone else's vehicle, or an airplane itself if you're a pilot watching, or a stewardess or steward. So something having to do with travel, what really gets your heart going, or something to do with options around these things as well. Where are you going to be happiest around these issues? What is at the base of it all? So the Hierophant here, we do have, we have Taurus energy here with the Hierophant. This is going to really speak to assets, belongings, possessions. So yeah, I would say that this is less necessarily about travel for the sake of travel than it is about the mode of travel or means. Definitely communication is going to play a huge part, at the beginning of the month, because we do have this at the base of everything here. Something that does concern vows, contracts, commitments. You could have been locked into something here. Like I said, we do have the Swords energy here, maybe needing more information or having to do that research for yourself. So at the base of everything here, we do have, a 5, the Hierophant. We do have a 5 in your recent past, which is a little bit, creates a little bit of tension or conflict. So yeah, there could be some revision or some kind of upset here that does involve, or just indecision that involves transportation, moving forward. This could have to do with 4th house energy, this Cancer ruled Chariot necessarily. So just throwing out some more terms here. 4th house energy would be, cardinal energy. If so, making the first move. This would be the home, the family, foundations, mother-child, original triggers, original, hurts, that type of thing. And then it is matched here with this Taurus individual. So if it isn't a Taurus, it's definitely 2nd house related. So of course that's possessions and values, either value systems or what is valuable to you. In your recent past, we're looking at the 5 of Wands. This generally speaks to getting something done in a wonky way, or something that you could be up against other people. If it is, say for a job, this just could be a friendly competition and it's just a normal, the normal process of things. If this is about a project or, say, job situation that you are all working toward the same outcome for, this is just people using different methodologies more than anything. But there could be some conflict about the way something is done here, not necessarily what's being done. Here is another fire card. So we have the Knight of Wands crowning you. This is what is definitely going to be working for your benefit here. We have Sagittarius energy. A lot of mutable energy is going to be very important at this time, because we do have more fire or Wands energy in your near future. So I would stay creative, try to stay light about this situation or event for at least the first 2 weeks of February here, Cancer. There could be a fire sign, right? A younger fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, who plays a part in helping to come up with solutions or an end to conflict here. But this is essentially a really lighthearted, easygoing, sort of philosophy-minded card. There are a lot of options that this person can provide for you, or this is, suggesting that coming up with creative options could be really, really important and potent for you at this time. So what you feel you're presenting to the world, or what you'd like to present to the world and have other people see you as, is this really, situated, arrived kind of feeling here. There could be like a really solid family situation feeling here. And you're definitely projecting this, or you feel like you're projecting this, or this is how you would like other people to see the situation, that you really don't have any money problems, you really don't have any family issues. This is a really settled card, right? There's a legacy that's here. There's a great deal of long-term investment here. Children and grandchildren, even grandparents could figure prominently here in this card. So there could be, if this has to do with a family situation, for example, this could be that, you have really good intentions around a family issue. And that's what you're putting forth. That's your, intention. How other people are seeing you or viewing you, however, is almost diametrically opposed here. We have the 9 of Swords, and this is extreme anxiety. This is miscommunication, zero communication. This is sleeplessness, anxiety, not knowing what to think, not knowing what to say. This could indicate some amount of conflict here, even if it isn't communicated directly to you. This could be about you. Remember, there is a lot of air behind the scenes here. We have the Page and the 8. We have this sense of I can't free myself. Basically, the main words around the 8 of Swords would be I can't, and then just whatever you fill in the blank. I can't get up. I can't go to whatever is I can't. And then this is I need to know more, or someone needs to know more. So definitely something being held close to the chest for some sort of reason, or someone needs more information or feels unsettled with the information they have. But this is what your community or those closest to you are feeling about you or in your presence, despite you giving off or feeling as though you're projecting this sense of wealth and warmth and togetherness and very possibly, family, roots, everything from children, parents and grandparents. Here in the hopes and wishes position, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So hopes and wishes around this situation is that really nothing is moving. There's a lot of stagnation here, not really knowing what step to take, not really knowing how to move into the future. Really, you could be requiring more help at this time as well. Like I did say at the very beginning, if you feel like you're out of sorts here with regards to a Cancer or Taurus individual or 2nd or 4th house energies, I might suggest that you take stock of what has already happened and maybe even make a pros and cons list here concerning health, well-being, investments, or money matters. And then a possible outcome, because the outcome card is always just a possibility if you were to continue in this direction, is our very cold but concise King of Swords. This is Aquarius ruled 11th house energy. Of course, it can be any air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, but definitely going to be an older individual or an experienced individual. I would suggest that this could have to do with a legal or court matter, court papers, signing on the dotted line. Like I said, we have vows and contracts and commitments under here, longstanding traditions are down here as well. It could be that there is a matter of tradition, right? You're trying to project this image of tradition and someone's not buying it, or there's some conflict within that traditional unit. But this person definitely tells the truth. It would be considered to be a cold personality type. The truth and nothing but the truth. So I wouldn't consider this energy to be necessarily warm, but you will definitely have the truth on your side. Something will be sussed out for you. So this is really good. However, because it's a little bit of a colder energy, you may not like what you hear. You may not like the outcome necessarily, but it is solid. It's fixed energy here when we're dealing with kings. So something is sort of finalized here at the end of the month for you. Let us lay another layer on top of this and see what we have qualifying these energies for you. There's our King of Wands. He just sort of flipped over there. It could have to do with a Leo or a fire sign. It could have to do with how you express yourself, being in the spotlight, how you resolve issues, how you use your heart or how you don't use your heart in this situation, like a loving heart as opposed to selfishness, that type of thing. I do see the eight and the page of swords together, especially here beneath, under the the bottom of the deck energy, and then of course matched with the Hermit. There really could be a separation. There could be a physical separation here. There could be a real sense of loneliness, going something alone, feeling divided, mental entrapment. It doesn't mean it's real, but it does mean that there could be a separation or entrapment somehow. There is either a call for or a need for, or just a place of introspection. But more often than not, especially with the Hermit, we're seeing, this sense of solitude. So let us lay our other layer here. Wow. So we have a couple of repeats here. We have the Chariot twice. We have, I think that might be it. And there's our King of Wands coming out again. This could have to do with a Leo individual. A lot of concern or issues around someone who is a leader, someone in the public eye, someone who was the golden child. If this is a family situation, it very well could be. A lot of despair and anxiety around that situation or person. So here I'm just getting the bottom of the deck energy for you, because we're going to match these against the bottom of the deck here. So we have, and a lot of major arcana are here as well as our qualifier cards. We have a couple of, there's another 9. There's another 9 of Swords. Wow, so many swords. So something is really creating a lot of internal, mental, or intellectual conflict at this time. We do have our second 5 of Wands. So definitely conflict, confusion, anxiety really has to be countered at this time in order for you to free yourself. I think a very serious decision awaits you by the end of the month here, guys. And then the Hangman, a very serious decision concerning a surrender, sacrifice, or release of desired expectations could be necessary at this time. So we have the 9 of Swords qualifying here technically, right? The Hermit, here's our 5 of Wands, and then the Hanged Man qualifying the Page of Swords. I mean, it could just be an issue of let people think what they want. You can't control what other people think, and you wouldn't want to even if you could. I do think that there also is an element of being given information or finding out information that is extremely upsetting at this time as well. I do think that it can incite conflict. I don't see it being long term. We're dealing with under 6 minor arcana, so it could just be a day or even an hour of that. But something could be very abrupt, and it's going to be informational. And it is going to impact how you think or what you think. So qualifying the 7 of Cups and the Chariot card here, we have the Moon. So the Moon is qualifying your card, and then what is crossing you or helping you is the Empress. So Yeah, I mean, Venus ruled Empress, Pisces ruled Moon. We have a lot of shadow self, shadow work information here. You know, what do you really want? What is it that you're really ready or willing to express here? You could be dealing with both the dark and the light side. We do have that in conjunction with the Chariot in my estimation, both Pisces and Cancer ruled cards. I would suggest strongly that this does have to do with beginnings and endings, particularly around family matters. And of course, the Empress, Venus ruled, so something very loving, something that's going to give a lot of life, something that has a great deal of potential here. So the dark, the shadow self, the underbelly, the hidden, if I haven't already said that, intense spiritual experiences, manifesting here under the Empress. You could be in a position where something extremely important or creates a lot of, say, luxury or ease in your life is under fire somehow, or it's under examination. Something that was considered to be normal. It could have to do with the Cancer individual. Like another Cancer individual. This could be all you, Cancer. And again, like a lot of Taurus energy. We do have the Lovers, Gemini ruled Lovers on top of the Hierophant. So we have both Taurus and Gemini energy here. A major decision. The Lovers calls for a major decision around this long-standing tradition, right? Vows, contracts. I mean, this could be heirlooms. This could be inheritances as well. If this is about a love relationship, this could be divorce, or if it is about splitting assets, it could be about splitting assets at this time. But yeah, a major decision here. I do feel like you are being blessed if you were to do what is in the best interest of love, beauty, truth, for example. I think you will be far better off, following source or following your higher instinct than following your lower instinct, because we know that the lower instinct would sort of equate to the devil here. And I think you're going to follow your highest instinct here. Around this Taurus individual or second house, elements like property, investments, and possessions. All right. So 4 of Cups is qualifying the 5 of Wands. This is just feeling like you're not getting what you need emotionally right now, or the conflict is too great. Remember, this is your recent past. So this is, technically speaking, going to be over by the first week. It's going to be over by the first week in February, so this should be behind you here, but maybe you were sitting on something, you were dissatisfied about something, and then you go to make a move because, the Wands are all about our action cards, and you're not getting the response you want. It doesn't fulfill you somehow. I think there could be a lot of personal growth here that you can't rely on other people for at this time. I don't really see technically a lot of teamwork here. I think this is something you are going to have to figure out for yourself. We do have the 3 of Cups on top of this really happy-go-lucky Knight of Wands. So there could be a third-party situation having to do with your heart or a celebration. But technically speaking, this is probably a little bit of a party. There could be a celebration here as well. If this is a love relationship and this is what this has to do with for you, crowning the situation, or what this could be about is celebrating a new relationship, celebrating the fun part or the flirty side of a relationship, or just having a party or a celebration in general. But friends and groups of friends could be very, very important for you as well surrounding this issue. Really nice to see here the 6 of Wands on top of the 8 of Wands. So there will be a sense of victory, even if it's a small victory here. We do have on top of this 8 of Wands, which is very, very fast and I would say sudden or unexpected communication. But this is definitely, like I said, around a sense of victory. It's putting yourself on your high horse. You're moving into the winning circle here. So whatever this is really about here, at least the immediate future, by the second week, it looks like something very, very positive lay ahead for you. So keep the faith here, guys. Here we have, again, some more swords. So here we have another 10. This time we're looking at the 10 of, where was my first 10? I don't know why I said the other 10. Do we have another 10? Sorry, I don't think we did. Anyway, I think we had a 9 over here. It's literally on top of the 10. Wow. Sorry, guys. 2 10s. So we could have some difficult situations ahead, certainly around what you're projecting here. You could be fooling yourself with regard to a legacy. You could be let down very, very deeply here as well regarding a legacy. But it's so curious to me that, you know, what you're projecting here, what you want other people to see about yourself is a really fantastic image of family, comfort, you know, grandparents, as I said earlier, and then this sense of like total defeat. This is overkill, right? So either you've been a part of this or you are being, you know, pulled into this sense of long-term, possibly family and investment and heritage, legacy type of situation here. There's something that needs to be over regarding a sense of overkill. There's too much. It could be too much thinking, too much talking, not enough talking, too much of something, right? Too much silence. But this is definitely when we're dealing with 7, 8s, and 9s and 10s of our swords energy. We are dealing with a lot of self-conflict, right? Like you need to get it out of your head. You need to be able to communicate this so that you don't suffer in silence. So we do have the King of Wands here on top of the 9 of Swords. So yeah, this is how other people are perceiving you. That you could be leading something that's very upsetting. You could be in the forefront. You could be heading or at center stage of something that's extremely anxiety inducing. So if this is a family matter, I just see a little bit of family conflict here at this time. You are definitely on 2 different pages, and it doesn't really say if there's a right or wrong about that, but it definitely suggests that there is an egregious amount of communicative conflict in those circles. Sorry guys, my voice is giving way. So here is our second Chariot, and we have our that qualifying our 4 of Pentacles. So again, it could be something having to do with travel, Cancer individual, 4th house energy, or a vehicle itself, or your body, the way that you are, the vehicle you wear, you know, your flesh suit type thing. If this is you know, a health issue for you, I would say that in terms of your hopes and wishes here, there could be some rest necessary at this time. You could have to just hold on to what you have right now and not make any significant changes at this time in your hopes and wishes. But of course, this is what you want to happen, right? You want to be able to hold on to what you have. And yes, that could indicate a family or family members as well. And then your possible outcome, because we know that the outcome is changeable because you have some room to switch things up here. But if you're going to continue in this direction, it does appear we have another Swords qualifying this sort of stern, maybe a little bit electric, sudden, sort of, you know, eccentric sort of outcome here, which is just really not knowing which direction to take. You could have to make a major decision here around a contractual or long-term commitment or family matter. But because we both have the 8 and we're dealing now with the 2 of Swords, there's just something that you don't want to deal with or that you'd rather not deal with. But a decision will need to be made here by the end of the month for you, Cancer, because you don't want this to continue into March, right? You want to conclude something here by the end of the month for yourself. It could very well have to do with a vehicle, a lifestyle change, a significant lifestyle change. It could be a health issue. It could be the way that you move in your life, how you move, how you travel, assets, investments, possessions. I would say family matters are extremely significant for you in this month as well. I think that you're open to communication. I think either who you are communicating with or you yourself may not be satisfied with the results of the communication is what I'm seeing here as well. You know, despite best interest, despite best efforts. All right, let's get some extra cards for you here. This is going to cover creativity, children, or romance, this deck here. I do see that there is a great deal of avoidance here as well. Someone, either you or someone in the family unit, long-term commitment. If this is career for you, this could be career choice. This could be institutional for you, you know, where you work or what, you know, your long-term institution is. Whoa. All right, so these guys jumped out upright. We'll take them. Just 2 more decks, and then we'll get these up to the camera for you. It's not going to be an easy month. I just don't see a lot of super easy cards for you here. I do think that you are going to have to get out of your comfort zone. I think that even when it comes to this Sagittarius, energy here around the 3 of Cups, I think asking friends or turning to peer groups at this time could be extremely helpful. But, and maybe it is the family you choose. Like maybe this does have to do, you know, maybe when we're looking at family issues here, it does have to do with your peer group because that's the family that you choose, right? Oh. Okay, let's get these cards. We have a lot of cards here for you folks. So playfulness, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And I think this is really part and parcel of, you know, what crowned you here, what is the best possible thing that could happen, especially by the 2nd week of the month for you. Really look at, you know, what makes you happy, what pleases you. Try to look at the bright side. We have both dog, which is loyalty, and opossum, which is diversion. Yeah, I mean, with all the swords, not having the information, not wanting to give information, people may be spying on you. People may not be happy with what you think or say, or your stance or position on something. But diversion and loyalty, you could be trying to avoid something where you have a status or a role to play, or loyalty is diverted at this time. We do have both regeneration and exchanging gifts out of the wisdom of the oracle. Regeneration really does speak to the death card for me. If it, you know, energetically, we are looking at significant and life-altering changes around presence, gifts, being in someone's life, being in the present, living in the present moment. Something grown very recently is taking root. But it had to go through a little bit of trauma there as well. Remember, anytime you plant a seed, and in order to get the results of that or the fruit of that seed, it needs to break open. There needs to be a specific destruction, right, of that seed, for example, just to paint the picture for you. But it can turn into something beautiful here. So something that's being destroyed or that was destroyed recently around a present, being in the present, being present to a situation.